Oh, mon Dieu. Bon,
Sasa athenda esihluphekile uyezwa.
Wena ubona manje lokho. But yeah, I found this thing. Sanibona. Thembe niyaphinda. Can y'all even hear me now? I don't know if my mic is working. Niyangizwa ngithi? Okay, let's send the thumbs up. So I'm taking that as a yes. And send for the shy question paper this time around. Hey, y'all in class, ain't it? Okay, so I didn't think of it. Okay, that's fine. Anisha, do you guys have any question papers in mind? Oh yeah, just got checked up in your workbook. Okay, I'm gonna show you all a couple of question papers I have, and locate one information. Someone let that person through. It's probably gonna take this, let's say. Okay, so shall pass it. I suppose we do get started. Let me see. I'm having about 81. Okay, you actually have to be serious. Okay, let me share my screen. You all can see the screen, right? And it's boys and trousers. Yeah, we'll actually go get my thing.
Hayi bafethu anisile manje nisikhiphela nje meeting.
Yeah, I got my gear. All right, Scare. You all can still hear me. It's him. Okay, we already went through most of these properties when I had the physical lecture. Today I'm gonna be mostly focusing on, how can I put it, question papers or tutorial things like this one. So I'm not gonna go over this. I think you all can read that for yourselves. It's the basics. Okay. I think I like this one. This one is simple. Wait, let me get it from you guys. Which tutorial here seems to be difficult for most of you? Tutorial, because I think I did tutorial 6 with y'all in class. There's actually a whole video about tutorial 6. Yeah. So what you guys have to say for yourselves, which tutorial do you think is most likely giving you guys trouble? Or I should just pick for myself. I'm just gonna pick the easier one. Nobody can raise a hand to show up or just
Tutorial.
type it up in the chat. Show me, man.
Yeah, tutorial 5, bro.
Tutorial 5.
Yes.
Oh, this one, employee wages.
Yes.
All right, there. I'm gonna do that one. What is this? I think I did this one before. Write a program that would accept an employee's name, number, hours worked, and rate of pay. Okay, so these are the properties. Okay, first thing, whenever you're reading such things, it isn't anything that's like when you have an employee name, you already know this is gonna be one of your properties on your class. Number law, same story again. You already know it's okay. It's a property. It's something that I can use for something, whether it's to calculate or to find out whose number it is. And then we get hours worked and rates of pay. So already from the get-go, I'm already aware what exactly I'm supposed to do here in terms of the properties I'm supposed to have. All right, then second line is they calculate the employee's wages using the hours worked and rate of pay. So when they say calculate the employee's wages using the hours worked and rate of pay, they're already showing you the first method you have to do. So yeah, it's actually a fairly easy one. So if the hours worked is less than or equals to 40, the employee works normal hours and gets a basic wage. However, if the employee works more than 40 hours, then he gets an overtime pay, which is a time and a half for every hour, for every hour overtime hour. Some badass English. Okay, though I think what they're trying to say here is that you have 40 hours to work per week. Notice how in South Africa you work like a normal work day is like 8 hours, okay? So if a normal work day is like 8 hours, it means that throughout the week, you're gonna accrue those hours up to 40 hours, 48 times 5. I think it gets to 40. And then if you work basically 41 plus hours, you're gonna get paid at a rate that is basically what? You're gonna get paid your normal pay, and then you're gonna get paid half of your normal pay on top of your normal pay. So it's gonna be more like normal pay times 1.5. So that's also a method of its own. They say calculate the overtime wages, normal wages, and total wages, as well as the overtime salary. So I would calculate the overtime wages, normal wages, and total wages along with the overtime salary. They are showing you all the things you have to calculate in order for you to end up getting basically the full employee wages. All right, then what's the next statement? They say create an ASP.NET MVC full application that will input the employee's name, employee gender, employee type, and hours worked, along with the rates of pay, right? So what else are you gonna look at here? You're gonna say, okay, I must be able to input all these variables they're telling me to input basically above. So now they're actually telling you what's your properties. And then calculate employees' gross wage, overtime and normal pay, tax amount, further deduction, and net wages. For part-time employees, tax must be 10% of gross, and for full-time employees, the tax must be 15% of gross. Further deduction of 5% of gross must be deducted if the employee is female. Consider overtime hours, if any. These hours are paid at time and half the rates. So it's the time and half the rates I was considering here. Where's this thing? However, if the employee works more than 40 hours, then he gets overtime pay, which is time and half for every hour.
First, can you please slow down? That's you moving at a very fast pace, first.
So fast.
Because Yes,
Yeah.
just to let you know. Sure.
Right. So on your part, then where do you feel as if I left you?
From the beginning of this paragraph, write a program that will accept an employee's name.
Okay.
You're fast to read. Yeah, that's my point.
That's it.
Sure.
That's fine. I'm gonna reread it when I'm done, okay? So everybody can reiterate again. Okay, yeah, we are required to output the following: employee name, employee gender, employee type, hours worked, normal pay, and all of these things here. So basically, this is all the information that should be in your view, right? So I'm just gonna go up here just so you all can see exactly what the view does. Should be here, the diagram. So you check, the view displays output, gets data from the model to display. So whatever output it's displaying, it takes it from the model, right? And it implements changes and updates. So all the changes and updates are implemented this side on the view. Where does it get those changes? It gets it from the model. So the model sends changes to the view, and which using the properties gets and sets. Notice whenever you're declaring your properties, you use get and set. Any other non-static calculation methods. So these are the calculations we're going to be using for whenever calculating the employee's wage, overtime wage, they're referring to such calculations. And the model never interacts with the view through controller. So the model interacts with the view on its own, along with the controller as well. But sometimes it does also first has to start at the controller, which is where you have to make sure that the data you want to project to the view is the same as it is on the model and on the controller, because these two need to have a relationship defined as well also. So the controller handles the inputs and listens for any input events. So basically, wherever input the user is going to put from the view, it goes through the controller to the model. And then the model can either display it to the view or it listens for input events, which would be your methods, basically. Okay. Notes. Gnene said that I read too fast. I'm gonna reiterate again. Okay, give me a moment. I wanna set up what I'm gonna write on before I actually start all this. And okay, I think you're gonna be back. Where's my notepad now? All right then. So for those of you who may have just joined us, we're not doing anything too crazy today. It's gonna be doing tutorial number 5 on your workbook. Yeah, I think it's your current workbook you're using right now. So tutorial 5, basically, it's an employee wages type of application. I don't know whether I made an application like this in my channel, but yeah, I'll just check after this. Basically what happens in this type of application, you're supposed to calculate or you're supposed to design an ASP.NET MVC application that can calculate an employee's wage based on the number of hours they have worked, okay? So as I said before, they're in South Africa, so we're gonna use the South African standards here. In South Africa, you usually work for 8 hours a day, right? If you work for 8 hours a day, it means that the hours worked property here to you only applies that basically was 40 times the rate of pay. So if you're paid maybe 50 Rand an hour, it's 40 times 50. So that's the type of thing we're trying to achieve here. So that's about the first statement. It says, write a program that would accept an employee's name, number, hours worked, and rate of pay. So if you check these things, these are the same things they also want this side. Employee name, employee gender, employee type, hours worked, normal pay, overtime pay, gross pay, tax amount, and net pay. So you can, if you get a statement like this, it's very easy to basically deduce your properties or for you to determine your properties, because you just simply look at the listed bullets here and you can clearly see, okay, these are the properties I need to have. And you can just come back here to double check that, okay, is employee name here? Yes, it's here. Is the employee gender here? Oh, it's not here, but I have employee number here. So there's another property I need to have that they didn't explicitly say here below. Okay, what else do we have? We have employee type, we're either full-time or part-time. Do we have that? Yes, we have employee type, either full-time or part-time. And we have hours worked. Hours worked, where is our hours worked? We're over here. We have our normal pay. Do we have normal pay here? No, we have rates of pay. Rates of pay is determined by what? By hours worked multiplied by rates of pay. So what else do we have? We have calculate employee gross wage, overtime, and normal pay. And so these two, you can think of them as methods. Anytime you see the word calculates, just know they're talking about methods, nothing too extravagant, okay? So you have calculate employee gross wage, which has what? Overtime wage and normal pay. What else? We have tax amount, we have further deductions and net wages. So is everybody understanding the input parts here before I proceed on with the rest of the statement? Or is anybody left behind on what I just said? Hmm. Button, please. Sakon, I'm asking you guys questions. You'll understand that you declare in terms of how do you get some properties out of a statement. And then we can move forward. It's in how do we actually do this thing? Because at the end of the day, you guys are going to be writing this on pen and paper. It won't really matter ukuthi uyazi kanjani code when it comes to how you look at it through a computer. There's a code oyibhala kwi-computer and a code oyibhala what do you call this thing? On pen and paper sheets. It's not necessarily going to be the same. Wait a button. Now it says 2. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take it as if you guys understand this. Yeah, you can speak up. Can't even see who it is. Oh, there. You can speak up.
Bafuna ukubuza ukuthi le class le liya-record ukuthi kukhona la bengisaphumile ngakhona manje ngiphutheliwe le ndaba yokuqala.
Lirekhodiwe. Oh, iskrini angakashare. Sanda unshare, reshare futhi. Khona engivulayo la ngizobhala kuyona. I think it's not pen.
Alright,
That rekhodiwe but then so khona la usale khona. Don't stress too much, but you can ask questions anytime if you understand. Okay. So let's say this is number 1. Okay, then I'm taking as if most of you understand. You all can see my notepad, right? Pretty sure you all can see it. Gonna ask what is screen. Okay then. So I'm not gonna be able to show you guys the thingy, the document as I'm doing this. So okay, you just have to see from one. I'm just gonna copy our properties license thing. And it's happen. But knows how exactly do you need to write all this? Right. So up top, you want to come up properties of many subparameters. So in this part is easy. Public in name, okay, what is string? Just gonna call him EMP name. It's gonna be gets sets. Same story again here. You ain't gonna be writing anything different. So employee type, you check with there are 2 types here. It can be either full-time or it can be part-time. So okay, I'm gonna just make this a string for simplicity's sake. MP type. Because if it's a string, I can basically use it however I want. That's why I usually prefer strings in this type of thing. And when I say I can use it however I want, I mean in my methods, it's very easy to manipulate a string than it is to manipulate other sets of data types like your int, your bool.
String. Amane inani nama. Kodwa ama-chars asebenzisa.
Ayibo. Inam. Nasensi inam inkosi. Senawazi nama-inam nina. I showcase that one. Double and pay. That's set. Public double. Overtime. Then you get set again. So what else do I have? Your cross pay. Yeah, does anybody have questions on what I'm covering right now? Cross pay is obviously double. Yeah, like all the money amounts, it's simple, it's double. I think you guys have grasped that concept at this point. Takes amount. Right, it gets it sets. Yeah.
So like declare my properties, I mean like these things. So we model no me control.
So model, remember? Model ayihlukile neclass. Uma kuthiwa model,
Yes.
abanye class nje. The same thing in the class I want to siyibhala kanjani.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
You forgot gender.
Forgot gender.
Yes.
Maybe I want to gender employee as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So each gender could be for you either female or male, and it's Because khona ngithola ngamanye. Asenze be-simple legend, awu-2. Thank you very much, wherever you are. Okay, we have Boo, we have gender. What else do we need here? I didn't forget. I think I have every properties here. Yeah. Anybody with questions at the moment?
Oh, useselani ubully lapha ku-gender instead of current?
I'm saying bull because I'm saying there's a method and you can either be male or female. So if I set male to be true, then automatically female is so false science.
Oh, okay.
But for simplicity's sake, you can use a char. There wouldn't be anything wrong you'd have done there. We can find it's how you choose to structure your variables. Long-term wise, I would advise it if you're ever dealing with gender, use a map pool. Or if not a map pool, use something like a drop-down list where you can put to either line to unathi agenda. So maybe you're building an application like that, it's wise uhamba kanjalo. Kodwa sikhohliwe la. I-rates of pay asinayo yabo.
Employment number.
Employment number nasifaka. Thank you very much. And number. MP number. Get. And then you set. Rates of pay. Public ends. What's the rates that? Get. Set. What else did we forget?
Error deduction.
Sharp. Okay, let's go back to our statement and did you cover everything? What's in? Employee name, hours worked, rates of pay, calculate. Okay, so let's calculate so much. Fine. Okay, I don't think I left out anything. If you do happen to leave out something, it's wise to umubhala ushiye noma nje 4 space nje for ama variable angenzeka udinga ukuthiwa add. Usually with computer, you don't have to go through all that trouble. You just come back and re-add it later. Okay, right now I'm gonna be doing my methods. Right? Okay. What about saying? Calculate employees' wages using the hours worked and rates of pay. Okay, calculate them using hours worked and rates of pay. Okay, it's not necessarily something so difficult. Okay, I can see hours worked. We already have hours worked as 40. The rates of pay there. So you're not going to get it was thinking because we weren't necessarily given a rate of pay. But say as a rate of pay over time, it's going to be ganja. Okay, it's not actually that difficult. Yo, so I got a lot of thinking this and more. I don't send any now. I'm putting it around. Public double calc norm pay. So, friendly reminder, you can name it whatever you want. I just like to name it like this. What's up? Yeah, how we declare is different than how we do it this year. Just checking the chat and yeah, okay. So indlela esideclare ngayo iyahluka kulokho. Sihamba ngalushumi lo. Or public ban. Okay, so I'm gonna simply say here return. I need to enjoy share. It's hours worked for normal pay. It's hours worked multiplied by a rate of pay. If uzosebenza insuku ey'normal, uzosebenza 40 hours. Then the only thing esinayo sengaba i-rate. You check and then you just simply do this. Excuse me, because this is firstly for a normal pay. But I think they said something here. It can't be this simple. Once you check, we have different types of employees. Part-time, of which takes about 10% of gross. Full-time takes about 15% of gross. Further deduction of 5% of gross. It deducts it if the employee is female. So look, we have to take it into consideration as we are going down in our application, because we have calculated the normal pay. Normal pay, I check it's still just half work gross wage. We still have to make a method to calculate the overtime pay, right? So for overtime pay, it's your normal hours basically multiplied by the rate of overtime. We're gonna see how it looks. I'm gonna put it on. Check. Naibona incident I highlighted. Do you all understand how I came to this conclusion? Or there's some people are left behind? Yeah, I see someone has the mic open.
Left behind. Left behind. Like I'm lost.
You lost.
Lost. Ngichazele sengathi ngingane na-5 mfethu. Ngichazele sengathi ngingane na-5 mfethu. Yabo manje ngiyadunyelwa mfethu. Angikho right.
Ubani igama sibani?
Mfethu ngeke mfethu bayoze bangihleke bonke ngeke.
Ngeke nababazi njengawo ngabafunani la.
Hayi mfethu hayi abaningi bangazi ngoMalacosta mfethu.
Awutake Malacosta.
Yezo mfethu elalela mfethu ngiyadunyelwa mfethu manje mfethu ngeke. Hey. Hayi. Bukela manje sengihlala bathi
Hayi ngaba liyahlehla lephepha.
All right, okay, let's try to get it up. I'm gonna restart it for you guys one more time, and then you all have to listen because we're already 1 hour into this thing. Okay, Malacosta. Zembe na Malacosta manje. That's it. And so I wanna literally sure.
Nceso bhuti nceso ukuthi abantu abengihleli nabantu aba-wrong abantu aba-wrong ngempela.
Ubani labo uvula i-camera sibabo. the camera sorry.
Wabebaleka. Hey, hayi kodwa ayibhuda qala phansi bese uchaze bese indlela yakho. Qala phansi uchaze bese indlela yakho phethu. Hey kodwa efese kudunyelwe mfana hey.
Akho stress engathi usende into elula nje. But I think, wait, let me check here. I know I made a video on this thing, but I possibly did. Which window am I sharing? I'm going back there to the code. So if you still have questions on what I covered, you can write them in the chat. Open your mic and ask, because no 805 or 806. I'm gonna continue with the code. I didn't pass it out. There's nothing. No, it's like, where is this one? If it's not this one, then I don't know which one it is. It goes. It's possibly this one there. Just close it down now. Nah, it's not this one. Yeah, you on it. Buang isi. Oh yeah, next time. I think yeah, no. Let me just check. You know, apparently. Okay, now that as one screen, I'm not gonna explain in this video. I'm going to parallel. Oh, I can answer someone. Yeah, you're not better. I'm gonna share you all the link to this thing because I think the code ends up before. And I actually recorded myself. Yeah, right there. I will not pay. I would say we change and that they didn't give us hours worked. In your case, though, you do. Because the hours worked is 40 and it actually makes for much cleaner code. MP type, that's actually cute. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna just send you all the link to this one. So I'm saying if the recording will not suffice, this is a much better version of me explaining because it's a video, so it's uninterrupted, unlike the recording we're having here. So I'm just gonna leave it in the chat. So yeah, okay, you can basically get to it from there. Okay, yeah. Windows builds, and can you please share more exercises videos? Just I'm saying the workbook they give to you guys on Moodle. You should actually just use that one because it's been the same workbook ever since I don't know, ever since I got here, it's been the same workbook. So yeah, it's best you just use that one because ibona futhi abazogcina beshintsha ukuthi bafaka nesisebenzi and this year. So it's best when you're using that one. For me, I just teach you how to tackle these things, how to basically do the whole code icon. So yeah, you can go check the video out. I can actually share it in a meeting. That'll be so lazy work for me. All right, I hope everybody's back up. We're gonna continue with the code. We'll shoot exactly what we're doing, so everybody is up to speed again. Okay, I still got to do. Wow. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're writing a C# program that would accept an employee's name, number, hours worked, and rate of pay. So calculate the employee's wages using hours worked and rate of pay. If the hours worked is less than or equals to 40, the employee works normal hours and gets a basic wage. However, if the employee works more than 40 hours, then he gets an overtime pay, which is time and half for every hour overtime hour. So calculate the overtime wages, normal wages, and total wages, as well as the overtime salary. So basically ngathini la basho nje into eyi-1 khandela i-employee, khandela i-company in a salary system yokugada ama-employees. And as you know, ama-company have part-time workers and full-time workers, right? So that is actually made more explicit in the next paragraph as we have create an ASP.NET MVC full application. They will input the employee's name, employee gender, employee type, full type, part type, hours worked, and rate of pay. Calculate employee gross wage and overtime and normal pay, tax amount, further deductions, and net wages. So for part-time employees, tax must be 10% of gross, and for full-time employees, the tax must be 15% of gross. So as I mentioned before, we have part-time employees and we have full-time employees, and they are charged different versions of the tax. So we also have further deductions of 5% of gross must be deducted if the employee is female. Consider overtime hours, if any. These hours are paid at a time and half of the rates. So I'm just going to show you a little bit what the completed snippet of this code should look like, just so you know what to expect. So I was writing out here. So I'm not sure if y'all can see the screen. So I was writing here how to calculate the normal pay, which is exactly the same way I wrote it here, just that now I'm more precise in my notepad. You all can see my notepad, right? In the methods double calc normal pay. Instead of hours worked here, I just inputted it up to 40 because I already knew what the amount was gonna be. But you can still just do this. Copy and paste, and you basically get the same result. Since the hours worked is going to be 40. But this makes for much cleaner code because now you're not necessarily relying on the user to input the amount of hours worked, okay? So we're gonna go back here. I'm gonna show you all like how the overtime hours was done. So basically when you look here, calc public double, calc overpay, we have return hours worked minus 40. So check now. Why are they saying hours worked minus 40? So let's say the user inputs 60 hours or 45 hours. So it's going to be 45 hours minus 40. So that's 5 hours left. So it's going to be multiplied by the rate of pay, which would be your normal rate of pay, multiplied by the 1.5, which is the overtime now rate of pay, okay? So that's how it kind of differs. So for simplicity's sake, I'm going to use hours worked here. I'm using hours worked because I'm going to now require the user to basically put in inputs. But you would not be wrong if you input it in 40 because 40 is the amount of hours that any worker can work per week. So when it comes to calculating gross, we just apply these two. So I'm just going to go back to my notepad. I'm gonna now design public double for the overtime pay. Calc over time. So what you simply do here is just say return. Remember, return ufana no console.writeLine. La I think last year. Copy this thing here, and then you just minus by 40. We are minusing by 40 because 40 is the standard amount of time each worker should work per week. And we are saying 1.5 because basically what overtime is charged at the time in half. Let me show you that statement. Calculate overtime wages. Where is it? However, if the employee works more than 40 hours, then he gets an overtime pay, which is time and half for every hour overtime hour. So are you guys understanding the whole employee getting the overtime pay in terms of how it happens? How do we get to the conclusion of 1.5? Because it's time and half. Half is automatically 1/2. And if you put that into decimal terms, it's 0.5. And if it's time and half, so he basically gets paid the normal time he works, and then he gets paid for the overtime, which is half. So that's 0.5 plus 1 gets you 1.5. Hence why, let me just show you the screen so you can see this thing. You can see the thing I highlighted here, right? Time and half. However, if the employee works more than 40 hours, then he gets overtime pay, which is time and half for every hour overtime hour. So as I was explaining before, time and half, the difference makers here are these two, time and half. Time and half shows you that he will get paid for the normal hour time he gets paid for, usually, and then it's accrued, it's added upon like a bonus with half of his pay added to his normal pay. I hope you all can understand that. Those who have had jobs before know what I'm talking about. If you're doing overtime hours, you know it's okay. There's a certain amount of money I'm supposed to get for every hour. But if I add overtime, I'm gonna get half of that money back also. I'm not too sure if you'll understand. Is anybody left behind on what I just explained? You all good? Okay, I'm gonna trust you all. Okay, put this guy here. And then what do we do? So now we must calculate this thingy for the gross wage. So I'm gonna say public double. Calc gross. So you're gonna simply say return. But now you're just gonna simply take these guys, put them here, say plus. Put them here, and then just simply make sure you close your brackets, and yeah. And simply just do this. So this is so far how our code is gotten. I'm gonna send you all a text file of this whole thing when I'm done, so you can be able to view it from your side. Okay, what else do we need here? Okay, we have calculated the normal overtime wages, normal wages, and the gross wage. That means we can now move on to things like the deductions. So we have the gross wage, the tax amount. I think they explained the tax here. It's different for both. And we have further deductions. So I think it's about time we calculated the tax. And I'm just going to show you all again. This is in the video. You can go watch it and see it yourself. Just listen to me blah blah here. So you check here when they're saying calc tax amount. Yeah, so basically we're gonna declare firstly a few local variables. Remember, those of you who were attending the class, I did cover these aspects of local variables. So I'm not too sure if you're all familiar with it. So we have public variables and we have local variables. Okay. Public variables are the ones we declare up top. Your get sets, anything that has get sets is a public variable. And then the ones you get here, hope you can see my cursor. The ones you get here, like your double F times 0 and your P times 0, those are usually your local variables that you use whenever you're writing code. So as you can see here, I'm doing an if statement because we have two different types of employees, right? So you have your full-time employee and you have your part-time employee. So since these two employees are different, it's very, they should also have different things. They should have different salaries. Their tax shouldn't be calculated the same, right? Hence why I'm doing it like this here. So basically, I'm just gonna go back here. So I was just showing you in the video where you would actually find this. Okay, and now we're gonna be making that tax thing. So we're gonna say public double calc tax. Gonna open our little thingies here. So we're gonna declare a few local variables. Double, we're gonna say F time for full time. And they're gonna make it up to 0. And they're gonna say, what's this thing, part time? P time. That's to 0. Should say actually 0.0. I usually don't follow this rule though.
Hey, Kawe, as I will not pay it up.
So remember now, all the way up here,
Kawe,
here in our notepad, we declared
Nkunzi, I
a
will
few
not pay.
properties here. Hope you guys are still following me. So we declared a few properties here. These properties are the ones you see above here. We basically took them from here. And then we came and declared them here, basically. So just for simplicity's sake, I'm gonna do something I don't usually do. So this is the first question. Don't usually do this type of thing. All right, yeah, so you're gonna be able to see exactly what made me write all this. Okay, I'm also gonna take a part here. Just for you to for you guys to actually know why am I writing all these things. It's because of these little statements I had above. So that's the second question. Okay, then. So we have calculated the gross wage. Now we're looking for the tax amount. All right, then calc tax, it doesn't necessarily end here. So now we're saying if
Ndumiso.
Look at what we're going to take above. Employee type.
Ndu.
If EMP type is strictly equals to full time, then you close it. Then what you're simply going to do when you're here, you open up your little bracket. Not sure if you open it here or there, but hey, it don't really matter, this bracket stuff. Okay, it does matter actually. The syntax matters a lot. We're gonna say return. Return is actually a bit of an overkill. So we're gonna take this F time. I'm gonna put it here.
Next week
I'm gonna say
Sunday.
F time is equals to. So I'm also gonna take calc cross. Put it here. It's gonna be calc cross multiplied by. So if you're a full-time employee, you're gonna be charged 15% tax. And in code, we don't write the percentage as it is, we write it in decimal points. So yeah, that's the whole gist of that. So notice, it's either you are an employee that is full-time or you're an employee that is not full-time. So there's actually no need for me to actually actively declare the condition below, because if the condition above is false, then it's obviously going to be the condition below.
Say. Hello.
Okay. Check what you're doing. We're calculating the tax amount here. As I stipulated here. Remember, I'm gonna give you all this text file. I'm gonna save it and put it up here on the chat. You're gonna be able to download it from the chat. I don't know whether it will get to the group or not, but it's gonna be up to you guys. Gross multiplied by. So if you're not full-time employee, you're gonna get taxed basically 10% of your salary. And then now you're just gonna be left with your return statement. Because this is where they actually the fun part actually comes in. Because we're gonna put this and then you're gonna add it on to this as well. So do you all understand how I came to the conclusion of this one? Take the time, analyze it. Really, I got like another hour to go, so. Everybody peachy with what you all see on the screen. You'll understand it, or are you left behind somewhere?
We left behind.
Nelisha. Speaking.
Yeah. Okay, so ungabe usayiqala phansi ibhale. Can you just explain from double lapha ukuthi yenze kanjani step by step at siqala?
Double law?
Yes.
Okay, so I need to have two different types of employees, right?
Yes.
In a full-time, in the civil part-time, right? And what we're making here, we are calculating a tax. So if you're calculating tax for these employees, let's charge a tax again. If we have to charge them different tax, it means that we have to store a tax variable at different variables. So we have something I introduced to you guys called a local variable. So local variables are basically variables you put inside a method. And that's what sevenza kule method A1 phela. not on the other one. Yeah, that's basically it for these guys. So why are we declaring them here? I'm declaring them because when I want the if statement to be for full-time employees only, it's gonna store the value of that price in F time. So let's say maybe here with gross, we had something like 100, right? It's just an example. And here we also had the exact same 100. So this 100 will be multiplied by 15%, and whatever value we get there is going to become an inputted here, right? Since this is an if statement, it's going to say if this condition is executed, it saves this value, and then it's going to skip this whole statement, right? It's going to skip the else statement, it's going to come here. And if p time is already 0, as we declared it above here, it's just going to be whatever the value of 100 times 15% is, plus 0, so it just gives you the same amount. Same story goes here. If F time is, so if basically the employee time is not full time, it's going to be part time. And that's why we are going to get only the part time value here, because the value of F time is going to be 0.0. Do you understand that part time local variable and how it works with the whole thing here?
Yes. Chat.
Cash out.
Cha, right. Yeah,
Voucher max short. Why is it ngihleke kangaka la? Sengenzeni?
Khona bebephakamisa kodwa ungaba-attend bese kwahlekwa lokho-ke. Sebephakamisela amahhala. I think khona la bade besala khona befuna ukubuza.
Mhlawumbe bekade ngiyethile na. Okay, do you guys kade bephakamisile kunethe bafethu? Nisafuna ukubuza futhi, or were you guys covered? One of the shows. Why did they star this person? Yeah, but it's got about count MS Teams at this age. No. Dani wrong. Bodlala. Hleka ezingane kanje. Oops. Dlodlo. Umbuzo nawo before I continue. Guessing there's no question. Yeah, I'm thinking everybody's good then. I'm go back to the question thingy. So what else do we have? We have calculated our tax amount. We want to calculate now the further deductions. Along with the net wages. I think this is fairly simple. It's from la. Yeah, it's fairly simple. So if any of you has a document, Mbanje. No, Mbanje. No, she's actually named after Mkwa. Mbanje Road. Okay, then is anybody understanding the female parts? Because Nancy code down Pam. I think on your screen you all can see it. I'm shared by the video. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Ndaba, angayibambi le nto namanje. Indawo zangathula Nkosi. Sukusaba abantu ndawo. Right, yeah, I'm thinking you all are comfortable with this. If not, so the first question, I'm just gonna be doing a little recap so everybody can be on board on what's happening. Right, and so the first question was to input the employee name, employee gender, which is either male or female, employee type, full-time or part-time, hours worked, and the rate of pay, right? So you're supposed to input all those things there, along with the normal pay, overtime pay, gross pay, tax amount, and net pay. So, unborn is fuck. One a month.
Boy, do it.
Ngiyabonga Ngqo. Kuyansi-ke nawumbuzo wokuqala lokho engikhuluma ngawo. Now check again. So we inputting the employee name, the gender, the male, female, employee type, which is either full-time or part-time, hours worked, and rate of pay. So we have these things to choose from. This is how I structured my model. So basically, work okay. So yeah, I think looking like understand what I'm modeling. I'm jumping at so this was mostly the second question. Second question was like calculate the employee gross wage, overtime, and normal pay. In the let's get this out of the way. Where a tax amount, further deductions, and net wages, right? So what I decided to calculate first was the employee gross wage. So for me to get the gross wage, I first have to get the normal pay of the employees, right? Hence why I started off with public double, calc normal pay. And then I return hours worked multiplied by rate. So rate stands for rate of pay, right? Okay, I think we have that settled. We also had overtime. So remember, gross wage is made by the addition of both overtime and normal pay. So for me to get gross, I first had to get overtime as well. So I said public double calc overtime, return hours worked minus 40. I minused it by 40 because 40 is the standard amount of hours you're supposed to work in SA. And any hour you work after that has to be multiplied by the time and half of your normal rate. So when they say time and half of your normal rate, they mean this 1.5. Time is basically 1.0. And when they say in half, they are saying add 0.5 onto whatever you have, and you will get 1.5. Okay? So that's basically the whole gist of this thing. In terms of the gross, as I said before, it is the addition of the overtime and normal pay. So once you have calculated the overtime pay and your normal pay, you can be able to calculate your gross pay, which is going to be your calc normal pay plus calc overtime pay. And then it's basically going to give you one input of the gross. And then we are now having to deal with something else that is a bit more taxing. We have to calculate our tax amount, right? So our tax amount is like this. We say public double calc tax. When you say public double calc tax, we're just naming this as usual, right? But the interesting thing comes when we are declaring our local variables, right? So we are declaring these local variables so we can use them in our if-else statement to store our results. Remember in C#, variables are the only things that can change their value, right? So there's a formula I wrote for you all last time around you in class. It's called data type, variable name equals to value. So the data type of something, yes, it can be changed, but it's not easy to change a data type unless you're going to be using explicit and implicit casting. But the variable name or the value of the variable name is always changing. Because here we declared our F time as 0.0. But if this condition here is true, that 0.0 is going to be overridden by whatever value is going to be here, right? And then whenever it hits our return statement, it's only going to return the F time, which is going to be maybe 100 plus. Since it hits F time and this is an if-else statement, it's not going to hit the second one, meaning that this is going to be 0. And anything added by 0 is just anything of it. It's just basically it. 100 plus 0 is 100 plus 0. There's not much to gauge from there. So I'm thinking you're up to speed with all this now. I'm gonna go to the next question. So next question is actually gonna be a little bit deeper. It's gonna be public double again. So remember, as I'm saying public double, what do I want to calculate? I want to calculate the deductions. So basically further deductions. So let's go read about what they say about the further deductions. Just gonna go copy that thing and bring it back to the notepad. This, okay, here it is. So you check, further deductions of 5% of gross must be deducted if the employee is female. So you can just call this deducts something. You can call it whatever you want again. I just don't necessarily care about the naming conventions. Okay, then, so I think you're gonna need a few local variables. So I'm just gonna declare them as double. So another thing you should note, any local variable you make must have the same data type as the method you're making it in. Notice here I used double, it is also a double. If this was a string, I would have used string here as well, okay? So please mind that, people. So double, I'm just gonna say M for male, because we were using char, I think, above. Yeah, M for male. Can actually declare it like this. So just say it's all equals to 0.0. Then nobody's really gonna kill you. Let's say if, open up your condition. So remember, as we're gonna go up, we made something a char here, which was gender. We're gonna take that now. Oh God. Gonna take that now. Gonna put it here, and then you're gonna say, I think you do it like this for this guy, right? So if it's F female, they should get charged a certain amount. I'm not sure if I made the quotation marks right, whether it's single quotes, double quotes, but I think you guys know what it is. So we're now gonna be using this F here. Let me just call this FE. I'll call this MA, just so you guys don't get confused about the whole thing. Open brackets. They, yeah, I'm not even gonna type all this. This cross wage. So you take cross wage, you come and you kind of just put it here. And then you can simply, and we said we are deducting this thing, so 0.05 is 5%. Kind of do it off like this and just say else. I'm going to use small letters. So MA, I'm just going to make it equal to 0.0, since nothing's going to change if the employee is actually male or female. It's actually male, because if they're male, they're not necessarily charged like, how can I say, it's double amount. So MA plus FE, and since this is an if-else statement, it's always going to return one of these people to be 0 or one of these variables to be 0. So it basically kind of works the same way as the one you saw above. It's literally just copy and paste type of thing. Is anybody left behind on what I just covered? Everybody understand? You all have questions?
Please, repeat a little return female plus by male.
But I'm saying, anything I've I'm too sure I'm saying. Oh yeah, I think sure. No. Can you please confirm that I'm cousin doing? Cousin thing I am. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna take it as if I'm showing the adding highlights. So what happens here? I'm going to see, let's say the calculus is like hundreds again. And when you say 100 times 0.5%, I don't know what number you're gonna get, but whatever number you're gonna get, you come and input it here. So if you get this number, whatever results you get from this number, it's gonna be put here. And since this is an if-else statement, so if this condition is true, it means the next condition is going to be skipped by the compiler, meaning this is still gonna be 0.0. And you can kind of see for yourself which result you're gonna get here. Hence why I was adding these two, as in an if statement, not all the code is basically going to be ran. Hence why I had my two local variables here declared, MA and FE, to be 0.0, so that I know whenever my code is running, I'm not gonna have two values at the same time that I added for one employee. Because you have to also think for the employee's perspective. You can't be both a full-time employee and a part-time employee. You can be either one of the two, right? So if you're either one of the two, you basically, if you're full-time, you have 15% that applies to you. Part-time, 10% applies to you. And they did the same thing here. Meaning what? If you're full-time, whatever value you get here is put here, and it's going to be added to what? It's going to be added to the part-time. And the part-time is always going to be 0 if you're a full-time employee. Same story applies to the part-time. If it has a value, then the full-time employee is going to be 0. So if you kind of look at this code, it's almost the same code. It's just that here I kind of use a shorter format of declaring it. But everything else is still the same. So that's my theory on explaining it. Tia, we're going to use our things. Shandu Ganda. Yeah. So we need to calculate what some net wages now. I think so. Sasha, I won't come at deduction yet. Sting on net wages. Public double. Awe bohle awakhe ukumemeza phela hawu. Yabonga. Right, so the simplest things we can possibly do here. So what do we take? We take gross this minus our calendar. This is the fun part about coding. So cruise control plus you're not text, you're not saying that. Plus the food see. You have a little deduct. Right? So yeah. Now so valid but I'll give more 10. Okay, so y'all can take a little break. What's the support available past 9? Anybody with questions? Pop them up in the chat or uvule my kubus. Later this time around, things on zip. Yeah, put.
Leli class leli
Yeah, recording to keep 100 rand uzoyithola.
100
Yeah, but akusezakala ngathi.
Serious, but 100 rand uzoyithola recording delivered straight to your YouTube. I'm joking. I video can connect YouTube. I linked it here, so you can just restart it from there. I'm laying a file up on the chat. So if you were kind of left behind somewhere, you can go there. But on what we just covered, I think you can look. Any parts here, as we are in the call. Then 8:55, I'm gonna have to start doing the control. So you guys also get to see what's in Iganjan from its own perspective. Okay. So anybody with questions is free to ask for now.
banolwazi ukuthi kule test yakusasa sizobhala ikhodi sizoyiqala ekuqaleni noma mhlambe
What's in our second year? Yeah, and they bala yonke code. Be prepared to write code.
No,
I'm not gonna.
khanya. Umuntu makabe serious ya.
Awungayisabi lento ilula kabi yazi.
Inkinga ukuthi wena uyayazi yabo lonto.
Ngiyanifundisa manje. Okay, when you go playing sakhavile
Manje le model bayibuza inkinga ukuthi khathi ngizoqala sengizobamba yona i-recording nje futhi khona ngizoyiqala ekuqaleni.
Ngayibona la ku-YouTube, so it's much better feel. Uzobona ukuthi naku-Visual Studio suke ivela kanjani yonke lento le.
Oh, i-link yaku-YouTube ikhona lapha ungakwazi ungiphi i-handle yakho.
Yeah, ila ngena kwi-chat la MS Teams. Uyithola lapho.
Okay, ngiyabonga.
Hey, Tura boy.
Hola good.
Yeah.
Ukhala ngani sibiyela? Oh.
Awusho. Awuyi-represent. Ekugcineni masu returna konke-ke lapho.
Hola.
Ngezansi lokugcina.
Hola. Net. Sure.
Uyak-add-a konke ofuna ku-return-eke lapho. Awumayinazi lutho.
Ngiyabonga. Ngizabona yakho ngithanda Brunda. Siyakumayinaza konke lokho.
Oh yeah.
Awusho wena indaba wena wethu ukubone lokho.
Hey baba, hey.
Umageza
Nami ngiyabuka phela yabo, hayi ukuthi mhlawumbe ngihleli ngilalele kuphela.
Umageza.
It's
ironic. It's ironic.
Ay kahle baba, hey.
Hey bafo, Ntomisi.
Hola.
Osichazele-ke indaba yokumayinasi.
Awu.
Hey, Ibani.
Awubachazele Chagas. Awubachazele indaba ungifakisa uminus lapho.
Phela sofuna inethi angithi. Sebethathe i-taxi, bathatha nemali abazoyideduct. Bese inethi akuyona phela i-gross la ekusuke isahlangane khona konke.
Oh,
Angithi.
kanye ne-overtime ne-normal. Hle lento ngathini ifana nale shamkani lena yako SARS. Una-ke uma uhola bese kuthiwa sekhona imali ey'ngaka ihambile ze-SARS. Into kanjalo shuthi nesikhandwe i-system ngathini ecishe ifane nalokho masuke sibhala le code kanje. Futhi that's why bafo ethi kumele size simayinaze. Ngiyalizwa futhi iphuzu lakhe liqinile. Uqinisile ngoba so-check-a lapha kwi-video cishe nami ngafaka u-minus impela.
Hey. Manje uThyrone umbizela ukuthi kube njani-ke?
Bezoqhubeka nalo i-class. Sokukhona nawe.
Ciao bafo.
Hola.
Ukubuza.
Makathini. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, na-video ngamayinazi. Course. Yeah, makathini bhuti sungakhululeka ungabuza.
Alright, bengifuna ukubuza lapha ma-calculator i-normal pay no-gross pay, why ungafaka ngama-conditional statements?
Normal pay, no gross pay. Okay, conditional statements. All right. Singoba ukuzolandela wena emva kwalayo, right? Yes, Baris. La ku-normal pay no conditional. Angithi normal pay vele. Ngathini akumele sicompare izinto ey'ningi. Ama-hour asebenzile hlezi vele ngathini ezoba kuwena usebenza amangaki. Vele sukuwedwa nawe as i-employee. So mhlawumbe mina mangisebenza ama-hour awu-42 yabo. Ilapho hours work sesifike siyafaka sithi okay 42. But manje kumele futhi sibe aware ukuthi all right angithi hours work kungenzeka futhi kube ukuthi ngathini mina as employee normal akumele ngisebenze more than 40 hours. Mase kudlulile lapho sekumele ke kwenzeke enye into. Hence why siba nani ne-method ya overtime yabo. So bungakufaka kwi-if else statement usho ukuthi mhlambe if normal pay ufake le shamkhani lena lag return. Why singa-highlight lento manje? Oh yeah, ufake le shamkhani lag return. And then uthi else if ufake le shamkhani la kulo return lo. But now kuzoba nenkinga eyi-1 lapho. Mina mangisebenze both overtime nathi nama-normal hours. Menge ngisakwazi ukubalekela isalary yami. Hence why ngibona ukuthi okay kumele ngiswahlukanise lama method owu-2. Kwekuthi la normal pay iba yodwa ngaphendla nalena ya overtime pay iba yodwa la ngezansi. And then sekufika sesikuhlanganisa go-2 la ku-gross. Angithi la suke sa-add gross njengoba kade esho nawo njengasi ukuthi la ku-gross sisuke sithi calc norm pay plus calc overtime pay, right? So lapho sesithatha lo sithatha ama-results akho go-2 la. Ngoba wena ama-hours akho adlula nje ku-40 so automatic ukuthi wena i-system izokubhalela bani u-40 kanje. Hence why ekuqaleni bengifike ngabhala ngathi 40 and then bese ngimtshengisa kahle kahle ukuthi no lona u-hours back. So regardless of how you write it, the system will know it's okay. It's 40 because I think we're still gonna set it up down the line because 6 setela. Check la how much is calculated over time. Which is it hours worked minus 40. Siyawususa lo normal hours lo. Subeke eceleni. Sesibala nje ama-hour lana overtime straight. And then it's multiplying a rate, and it's multiplying a time and half of the rate. I can't understand the market about. Okay, thank you very much. Nobo, I think it's your turn now.
Oh my God, kahlupha. Ngi-unmute noma ngi-unmute?
Siyakuzwa manje, khulasa siyakuzwa.
Oh, okay. Umbuzo wami ukuthi udeduct uphamuke because uphamuke usuvumbuka lapha and I do not remember so declare phezulu. Yeah, ngizwe akasangizwe.
Ngizwile uqhamuka usuvumbuka udeduct yes. This is the screen. Okay, yeah, you are right. Deducts, we did not declare deducts above, but we only used deducts. So, let's see. Yeah, for a method, you don't necessarily have to declare it in order for you to use it. We are going to figure and then just showed me. You can just come back and add it here, which is very necessary because when we're going to our controller, we're doing which is even now deduct because we're gonna be matching it to something else, right? So I'm no.
Yeah, siyakuzwa. Enye inkinga ukuthi iscreen sakhe asisiboni.
Iscreen senzani le? Should I have a phone in phone? Siyasibona manje.
Sengiyabona sesiyabona.
Yebo siyavela.
No, mhlawumbe inkinga ngakuwena. That. All right, so check. We have added now into 2 of our things here. We deduct. So lo deduct nizosebenzisana nobani? Nizosebenzisana nale method la, which is for deducts, right? And okay, and another thing you should all notice, lento ezuyenza ngiyacela angazi like ngathi ungakhuluma wedwa nayo. Like just think of it in your head. Uyibuza wena umbuzo okay. Lo njengoba ngimfakile uzohambisana nobani as you're doing it. Hence now I don't just code one way no, I code, then I stop, I look, it's okay. Sengenze lokhu, I went all right, lokhu ngikwenze kanje. Lo uhambisana nalo munye no. same story futhi as ngathi I ask you guys, it's okay, what do you guys think of what I just did? Because the main idea here is for you guys to actually understand what have we been doing and then to be siyenza kanjani, yabo? But there is also the video with the correct code there. Nayidinga vele le file engiyenzayo manje noma ngayigcina kumina.
No, MPE.
Setting.
Positive marking ikhona kodwa kumele kuqine into oyibhalile. Sakhona positive marking. Sharp. Yeah, I resent the YouTube link for those who did not get it. Hey, I was ufeyile, hey, kodwa Nkosi yami iyafeyile kana lento angingasho kanje. You all are smart actually, yes. Lento seningayibhalela nina. Uyabona? Ngibona kanjani? Public class. I think we covered this aspect. Ngiyabonga for pointing out that deduct thingy. AMP controller. Okay, so shall I controller real quick? It's not gonna take much time.
Mina ngiyongena lapha ngiqale phansi mina ngiyobheka le email.
Ufuna ukubhala. Ushilo nje. Uyakwazi ukuyenza kodwa ubungabhalanga. Uyakwazi ukuyenza. Ushilo. Chief, ngena phila ngisho wasengiqedile.
Usubhaleni?
Ngifaka ubhala khona.
It's okay. So I think I should change this to the name of my class. All right, so we're starting with our controller. We're gonna be going over this one a little bit more quicker. EW. NEW. So it's our controller. So we have named it wages controller. And this is the first thing you write. It depends what they want you to do. In this case, they just want us to calculate, right? So we just have salama value la calculator and value of melangenous inputs. Of which is now phezulu lama value la.
Sorry, but
yebo,
sure vese bengizama bese ukulongilalela vese ungaziqhubeka vese kakhulu uphinde vese uqale phansi bese i-explanation yale controller vese ngithi ngizama ukulandelela kodwa vese akwenzeki mfana
controller angachazi vele kakhulu. Engakutshela controller ngithi ukuthi it just facilitates inputs from the model to the view, then from the view to the model, and then yeah, vice versa. So it's something that's really pending now. So when sure whatever you're putting in your controller reflects what's in your model and also reflects what's in your view. Yabo?
Hayi qhubeka bhuti baseke ngathi uqedile ukutype lapho bethi uchaze vese ukuthi line noline yindaba lapha ya
line noline
yabona
line by line was
hayi cha phela lokho econtroller hayi lokho kunye mfethu
controller ngiyezwa
lokho controller ya
ngiyayizwa ukuthi nangani
Hayi phela
Yeah.
bakhona phela nangale abadinga ukuthi qine nangale kodwa phela singayicenga la controller vethu yabo. Otherwise phela umuntu ogcina sethola umlenze vethu engaqondile. Hey.
Ngifeyile ngikhona.
Hayi alright but hey qhubeka utype lapho basizochaza hey.
Ayingithembi la. Okay, remember, I think I showed you guys the last time around we were in class how to do all these things, right? So what we're doing here, we are passing information from our model to the view. Check here, this is our model, right? So njengamanje isala information, isala control information is. Check, ngifuna nibheke kulento lena ngilanda le phezulu. Kulama properties ami la kade ngiwenza, right? Kopisha futhi ngiyehla nalo. EW dots goes to EW dots. Same story, right? So I'm just gonna copy this so it's a lot quicker for me. It should be enough. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to get every single variable I can over here. So I'm putting gender, hamba ngiyolanda hours worked manje. Now futhi somfaka la. Phinde hamba futhi siyolanda EMP number. I don't think we need this. I'm gonna take the rates. So why ngithi something anti once akekho la. So njengamanje ngifuna ukufaka izinto la izovela kwi-view. Izinto esingadingi zivele kwi-view, there's no need for us to input them. Okay. I think you're gonna need to add a few more. Right, and so we have added these new ones. We're gonna go back above, click rates on it. Then siyathatha rates sobamba uNomaphelo sehla naye. Simfaka la. Okay, siyaqala-ke manje siyashayisana. Unomaphelo i-method angithi. Phinde sothatha le method le. Sifike siyifake la. So ama-brackets ethu siqhubeke nempilo. Overtime pay, same story naye, kumele angene njengaye lo Nomaphelo. Uyomfaka nje ngapha. And then mase sizomfaka ngala, you just take the name of the method. Siyagibhitha manje. Asabhuti omdala ngisazochaza nje kahle yonke into la, line by line njengoba bengisho. Just making sure yonke into is in one place. Then siwane gross pay. Okay, emva kwe-gross pay sizoba nane. Sidinga i-calc gross angithi ngangila siyamthatha. Sesizomfaka kephi? Sizomfaka khona la. Kwenze sure ukuthi awafaka ama-brackets akho if ufaka i-method. And then what else do we need? We have a calc gross. Okay, tax amount manje. Sesifaka i-tax. Tax nayo kade siyibala nje la maduze nansi. Thatha no deduct futhi as well. Mhm. I don't know. I think I declared it the same name. Yeah, I declared it the same name. It's okay. So in Let's Pay, yona manje sesogoqa la izansi. Thathe i-method yakhona. Then you just come and input it here. All right, guys, so let's actually explain what the hell is going on here. I know people are lost as well. Okay, so everybody check. We have public class wage controller. So this is how we declare our controller, right? I think everybody has seen this before. What else do we have? So this is just what do you call it? A comment. Get the dot wages. So this just shows you what exactly we are looking for here, wages. So we have public action results index. I should actually change the value of this to calculate. When the short is very long and very long, otherwise you're gonna be in deep trouble. And then you have return view. So basically, check. I showed you guys this thing before. Kono return la same story. Kono return so then there is my methods of two. Okay. If ama-methods of-two, kusho ukuthi yonke lento esebenza kule method engenhla iyasebenza kule method engezansi. Hence why here you find return view and then bayavula la. Return view though is this view here. It's called it's a C# method where it's all for free because you're using Visual Studio. It's a C# method. You don't even need to know what it does. Just know that you put it here whenever you're making your action results, okay? And then you have HTTP post. HTTP post to show mele. Okay, there's something called HTTPS // and then we're going to come on the website. I think Nana Ibona Sham before, like whenever you're Googling or doing anything, almost every website has it where it has HTTPS. So this is to have that HTTPS and it's for your thing to run on your local machine via the control. That's why usually you'd have localhost something here. Let me just check for you all if that's the case. Okay. Can I share a mind? I'm not sure if you all can see. But this is how the application actually looks, Mr. Peled. So yeah, kushiona kile sisikuchela yonke lento lethi imali deduction yakhe kanjani. So if I were to change this, I'm changing it to female. I want to see deduction fees yanyuka la say blocks apply la 5%. Okay, Kone, that's not actually what I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you the local host thing. I want to allow to party local host 44397 /EMP/show EMP, right? If you all can see that, that's what HTTP does basically. It gives you this little local host you can use to host your application basically. All right, so let's see what I can do for you guys with the remaining time we have. Okay, so we have HTTP post. We have public action results, calculates EMP wage new. So there will be something you would put here because then you're going to get error there. say models dots emp wage EW. So you would use models dot emp wh EW to do what? Models law. Its only purpose. Yeah, mama. Essentially futhi lento le awuze. Senibuyile ngapha.
Danko.
So models is namespace. You can search what namespaces are, but basically, instead of writing, instead of writing that, you can just write models. That also dots emp wage EW. Remember, EW is your object, okay? So in name, it can be basically whatever you want it to be, so long as uzoyisebenzisa la. Notice ukuthi into eyi-1 la efana ngisebenzisayo EW ngize ngiyophuma lezansi, right? Even on the right hand side as well too. EW ngiqala ngayo all the way through here ngize ngiyophuma ezansi. So lento ishintshaphi? Lokhu ongawona ama-method usually uyokubona ukuthi fike igama lakhona libhalwe ngapha phinde libuye ngapha. Bhala ngapha libuye ngapha, bhala ngapha libuye ngapha. Bese lokhu kungama-method. Ubona ukuthi fike kubhalwe igama lakho liyi-property, kodwa uma sekuziwa ngapha uzokubhala ngokuthini? Uzokubhala ngale gama le-method oyenze ngalo phezulu. In my case, beku-calculate nompay, calc nompay kanje. And when you via upstairs here, you're gonna see ukuthi u-calc nompay ubukade ume kanjani, right? So you can basically get to see and get to deduce ukuthi into yakho le ihambela kanjani. Okay, so what else do we need to cover? If you vele seni-right, ngithi noma singayiyeka yona. Phela angikwazi ukukhuluma kanye kanye. These people. Akuqala uDlodlo aze akhulume. Why nofuna WhatsApp group manje? Kulungile yini? Ayela WhatsApp group. Mana Dlodlo angikhona ukuzwa kahle.
Ave bese ngiqeda kukhuluma nabasekhaya manje qeda kukhuluma nabo yabo ngoba ufona nje qeda kuvala ifoni kade ngikhuluma nogogo.
Yakangala.
Iy'nkinga zingenaphi thina lapho sicela ukubuzile.
Hayi ngamanje ningamlwisi. Iphuze. Khona phansi isandla. Khona phansi isandla ke bafethu was it by mistake. Ndidi besizakile. Ezizandla zaphi yamgadi ngakhuluma baba. Gadi. Spotlight this one.
Sacela usho uphinde la uqeda ukusho about ama-methods.
Methods.
Wabona kanjani yebo?
The methods. Akekho omunye who has a question other than the methods one. Ngathi ukusiphamisile lesandla. Okay, asichazela ama-methods akho kakhulu. Okay, check. Until uyabona manje, you can see the screen. The screen is not ngemuva the screen list. Okay, so we have our normal pay equals to EW calc normal pay, right? So onto normal pay, first I'm declared lapha as one of our properties, right? When we are making our model. And then we had EW.calc norm pay. Well, calc norm pay is actually a method that we made. When I go up, I'm gonna show you the method again. And it's not a method yet here. So calc norm pay is equals to hours work multiplied by the rate. So if that's the case, it means that basically what we're doing here. And do you remember Jelowuti Lendo? Yes, C#, it's data type variable name equals to value or assigns to value. So it's still the same concept here. Check EW usefana ne-data type njengamanje, right? Why ngithufana ne-data type? Because it is an object that is a copy and pasted class. So i-class iyakwazi ukuthi ibe data type to something else, especially masisila ngama-control, okay? So what exactly is happening here is this. EW is your data type. Variable name is your EMP name, which you already did have. And then you're assigning EW to .emp name here. So this is like the first thing that is happening here, right? So what are you actually telling the computer here? You're telling the computer to EMP name, user if we fire not. Hence why, okay, I'm just gonna share this window. Hence why you check here with your employee name, uzofika ayibhalele yena employee, as I did here. Now hours worked, uzofika ayibhalele into 48 hours. No mail la uzofika ayikhethe kanjani. And the rate of pay uzoyikhetha ukuthi ngakanani. And then they're gonna be able to calculate with how much did they actually earn or i-process yonke kanjani. So how is all of this possible? Angithi sithe lokhu njengoba ngisho lokho ufuna uyi-user kube i-input kuyona. Uphinda kawu-2 when you're here with control. Okay, can you see the notepad? I think we have switched to it. And so to employee name, uphinde kawu-2 because I want this to be what? To be user inputs, right? So for it to be user inputs, ngiphinda kawu-2. User inputs. I'm not gonna type this thing all the way through. Okay, and then what happens mase kanjena? I want to calculate normal pay kanjani. It's one normal pay, and then once it's assign a value, we're assigning a value a method. The method might run when the computer hits this, it goes and runs this whole thing here. You don't get a code departed. The code departed it's hours work times rates. Okay, let's write back to the video. Check hours worked is 48. Rates of pay is 350, right? So 48 times 350, I think you can calculate for yourself, which is 16,800, all right? So that's what it did with the first method, right? Overtime pay, how did it calculate that? So at this side, so you can see this thing sharing. What is it doing now? Share this window, please. Okay. So for the overtime pay, it did this. So it said public double calc overtime, return hours worked minus 40, multiply by rate, multiply by 1.5, right? So as Bale, we have 8 hours, right? We have 8 hours overtime. So lama hour azo multiply nge-rate ya 350. In the futhi ezo multiply ngo 1.5. I'm not sure what's the amount we're gonna get here, but finally ibe 4,200 so now. Check real quick. 8 times 350 times 0.5. Yeah, we get to another 4,200. Yeah, we almost get one low, just not even almost, we get one low 4,200 low. Then the add to the male is hambi okuma results. So, point being, hope usalale nekusama zulahle. Point being, lokho kusuke kula sekurepresentwa i-method, so kwenziwa i-computer, right? Computer work, right? So the computer does like most of the work that you would see here. UNO is another story. Le ndlela yena enzima leyo yokubhala i-view engenasidingo. Yeah, I didn't see that. La.
Sisuku spotlight.
Is it focus?
Does the focus? Okay, let's check. Nayibona le view lena lapha mngani. Mase ngangithuka nje manje. Ingabe ngisebenzisa display for Nkosi. Abisicefela kanje. But uyifaka nje nje. You want to display for display. Mina manje sorry. Okay. Just gonna show you guys a little thing here. Just scaffold that view there. So yona ndlela leseniyibhala ngayo nina le. That's model 4 employee. So this usually the name of your thingy, name of your project. So you know, not. Hope you all can see the screen. And then go begin form as usual. And then on the show, show EMP, you file like the name of your action results. Nala usually will file the name of your controller. Now, like I'm on the controller, action results are coming up on show EMP in this case. In the other case here, in this case, we calculate. Calculate singithathe phi? Singithathe la ngenhla ngithi. Then calculate simfaka la sibe no wages. Wages ngithatha phi? It's the name of our controller. Okay? So this is how you link your calendar to this form, to this begin form. And then you just say form method.post. Form method.post doesn't change. It's the same thing. And then now it's just gonna be you in your HTML. Yeah, la usubhekene ne-HTML ungayazi-ke sesicayekisini sesekonakele ngempela. Kodwa I-advise you ukuthi uyiqalaze lapho ku-W3 Schools because nathi we did not have an HTML class this week. Lo mfundisi HTML uthi akafuna ukunika i-free lesson ukuzongikhokhisa, so nazi-ke indaba engizoyimisa kanjani.
Nkabe yami.
Hola.
Sure, manje imali. Ngaphuma nje u2 minutes manje sekuvela izinto ezihlukile manje. Yini le ngibhekile? Yini le ngibhekile manje?
Uphubelani lo 2 minutes sibari? Sikhuphuka
Cha phela bekudingeka phela ukuthi ngithi ukuthi ishuyi kancane yabo. Manje kuya yini imali lapha mwami Nkabe yami? HTML mode yini manje le?
View yethu le nkaba. Mangithi kanti fike senze into kunjani? Ipasa ngithi model. Umva kwemodel senza i-controller ngithi.
Ya, ungigcine lapha ka-control wena kahle hle. Ngigcine lapha ka-control. Sewuqeda i-control, ngabe ngithi shuyi kancane. Ngithi awu.
Ngithi awu, wabona sekonakele. Cha le ukuthi vele bese ngiyikhodile vele eceleni before iklasi. Ngoba ngathatha isikhathi eside yona. Manje bese ngimchazela-ke yona line by line ukuthi kahle kahle phamukaphi lokhu siyakiphi nakho yabo. Ngayisho-ke leya HTML ukuthi manje u-HTML into edinga ukuthi nje ubhekane nayo nje mswalofu. Akuyona into elula ukuthi ifundwe unless nifundisa nani niyayenza same time. Then that's where you can actually see ukuthi okay, this is HTML at work. Hence why I recommend ukuthi le HTML uyibamba kakhulu ngala kwi-video. Because kwi-video it's actually much more clearer and much more what's uzokhona ukubona ukuthi lento engiyifakayo ihambe like yayokwenza in la kwi-video. Cause okay, noma nayibona on the screen lesi. But usually nje suke izohamba nje kanje lokuthe editor 4, display 4. I think lokho bangichazile ama-notes enze kuhamba kanjani. And then ke mufaka ama-radio button, it's a radio button for konke nje lokho suke kuchaza ama-notes. Lokho ngoba ngisho mngane wami kudinga nje ukuthi ufunde, but it's very easy ukuthi lento uyazi musuke wenza imodel uphinde wenza ne-control uzokhona ukuthi usufika kuyona ngeke isaba umphansa kakhulu.
Imali nkabi yami manje lento le HTML uyadingeka kusasa noma mhlawumbe ngidinga ukwazi imodel mina no-controller kuphela.
Sebenganenzisa leyo view leyo ukuthi ngathini kuthini babehlezi bawukhipha ku-test 1 esasaqeda nje futhi ehlezi iphuma lento ijwayele ukuba lapha ekugcineni.
Hayi ngiyakuzwa hey it's fine
Hayi ngathi uma ubona ukuthi inzima ungabamba lokho oku2 i-phase 2 vele nayo izophuma udle khona ngathini amamaka akho. Phela kumele vele wazi yonke into.
Hayi ngiyakuzwa nkabi yami ayikho i-flop hayi qhubeka la uqedele khona mfana.
So ngifuna I'm showing you guys the snippets less because ngifuna nibone ukuthi ama-radio button angena kanjani.
Okay,
When to first. When to first. Ya, ngiyayibona lethi ihamba kanjani ama-radio button nokuthi izinto siyi-display kanjani ngo-display 4.
Lutho sibuni.
Awubona isiboni screen? Vele video nje la. Akuveli yona. Uzingabe vele video kwaya isikhathi vele manje. Hayibo, siphelile isikhathi sami.
Mfethu siyabonga badlala ngayo laba bakho 50 manje.
Baye.
Awungibengele imali.
Isame.
Oluba phokisi man.
Siyabonga.
Siwe.
Hey, iyodwa indlela yokwenza i-view. Awubelo khuzana lapha. When to mfethu. Awasho. Yebo njanga.
Ukubuza mina.
Yeah.
Ngicela uphindele ngale ku-control HTTP post.
So there's we check speed. Yabona guys. How are the people still joining here? Bihle? Was Bihle? You don't have any other questions. I think, yeah, my time is up. Thank you very much for attending. Anybody? Yes. Yes.
Hey, Dumiso.
Yeah, follow my guess.
Yebo mfethu wena bayigcinini ke kwi-view.
Yep, kwi-video noma la.
Ya, kwi-video. Ema ngithi yabona kuthiwa employee name HTML editor 4. Bese uthi brackets. Labo ma alphabet o N bani.
Hayi lokhu uyayiqambela kabe yami lokhu. Kumele wenze sure ukuthi ungenza ukuthi bangifaka u-N ngapha ngiphinde ngiyawukhipha ngale futhi. Nawe kumele wenze sure ukuthi yonke letho ifaka ngapha ka left uyayikhipha nangapha ka right bese yakhona ukufaka u-dots ufake le property oyifunayo EMP name angithi yazi yena ohamba no employee name.
Phela noma ngafaka noma iyiphi alphabet.
Yeah, noma ngafaka yiphi alphabet ungafaka ngisho igama uthi model and then uzobuyisa lona ngapha uthi ngingcono uma ku-alphabet obuyashesha ukuphelela isikwenetu.
Mhlawumbe ukuthi
Ukubuza.
Mina.
Yeah, qale Daweni.
Sengicela ukubuza.
Yebo ungabuza.
Inkinga khona angiyithandi into abayenzayo khona abantu abasikhiphana and li-wrong into abayenzayo yazi angisezwanga nokuthi uthini because bangikhiphe ngisathi ngiyabuza.
Oh, nice. What was it, 10, man?
Ngicela siye lapha kwi-controller phezulu.
HTTP post.
Please. Yes, please.
Yeah, HTTP post is fair.
Okay. Lo EW dot, EW umele in. Employee wage umele in.
EW umele EMP wage le. It's basically object yakhona. Antakumula when find some object that states object, you can give it a value.
Yes.
So I gave it.
So if mina sengibhalile yonke le shandisi le, ake sithi bayayicela, sengibhalile yonke le shandisi, izobe i-controller yami ingakopheleli if lento siyenza manje leya code leya othi wena inzima, if ungayifanga ngisho ukuthi izobe ingaphelele.
If you i-controller izobe ingaphelele if ungayifakanga yonke le code. But it depends on ukuthi bedinga. Isikhathi esiningi at this level sebefuna ukuthi nifake icode kanje.
Okay.
All right. Connects is that. Very nice. Let's stop this recording.